Hi, my name is Perry-May Britton, and I am a somatic coach. I came to somatic work in a very roundabout way. When my son was finishing primary school, I decided it was time to get a real job, having done lots of different things in the run-up while he was young and at primary school. So I began retraining in massage therapy. I didn't really think that was what I wanted to do, but I love people. I love helping people be well. And this seemed like a good thing that could fit around being a mum. So in my training, one of my coaches, one of my trainers said one day that it didn't matter how good we were at massage, it didn't matter how good we were, how skilled we were, if the person lying on the bed didn't feel safe, their body would reject us, tighten up, and we wouldn't bring about the relaxation, the calming that the massage was intended for. And for me, that was a little epiphany moment because I was like, I know that feeling. I'm a touch person. I like people to touch me. But when someone I don't want to touches me, I can feel my body tighten up and get tense. And so I was like, the alarm bells or the light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, that's the thing. That's the thing that I want to do. In my previous life, my previous career, I was worked with people in Christian church and charity. And what I love is being involved in the transformation. So when people go from being broken to being whole, from being dysregulated to being regulated, as I now have learnt. But after that session, that massage training, I sort of jumped down this rabbit hole to try and work out what it is that he was talking about. And I became obsessed with sort of researching and discovered what I now know to be somatic coaching. And what somatic coaching is learning how to feel well in your body. So whether that's nervous system regulation, whether that's learning how to relax your tense muscles, whether it's sort of reconnecting your body and your brain, but learning to reconnect with your body and kind of speak the language of your body as opposed to verbal language. So describing how we feel with words, but learning to reconnect with the emotions and the feelings in our body is really powerful. And it has completely changed my life. So when you learn how to relax your body or how to regulate your nervous system if you're dysregulated, what happens is your brain switches on and you can then think more clearly, you can make better decisions, you can problem solve better. And that, of course, impacts how you relate to others. So when you become yourself, when you kind of go, this is who I am, then you feel well in your body, which means you feel well in your mind, which means you can relate well to others. So somatic work is really simple. Mostly it's common sense. But what I normally do is I run people through a process that either takes 4 one-to-one sessions, or if I do it in a group, it's now 6 sessions. And we look at what happens when we get in a stress cycle, what happens to our body when we are feeling stressed, things like your peripheral vision shuts down, your ability to make decisions is compromised, your eyes are darting. Someone who's anxious looks like that. So just understanding what the physical symptoms of anxiety and stress, what happens in our body, and how we can regulate that when we are not under threat. So when your body thinks that you're under threat, but you're actually not. And I do this through the embodied course, which I can do in person, online, one-to-one, or in a group. And I run the course in a group, usually 3 times a year. So at the beginning of the year, a summer course, and then a September course. But obviously it can be flexible. So that's really what I do. I live in West Sussex, so if you want in-person sessions, you'd need to come down to West Sussex, or we can do stuff on Zoom together. I like to make my prices accessible for people. So the group sessions are obviously financially easy to get to. But if one-to-one is the way you want to work, obviously it's a little bit more expensive. Anyway, that's me. And I would love to hear from you. Have a look at my website, www.bodykindness.co. There's no M, it's not .com or .uk. It's just .co, bodykindness.co, or you can follow me on socials, Body Kindness Co, both Facebook and Instagram. Lovely to chat. Bye.